Hello. Check out. Make sure. Gotta make sure it sounds good. Perfect. Okay. Alright, we are back for more Genshin. It's been a couple weeks. But we have a new event. Another voiced one. This is probably the main event of this version, really, so event, not, the main story. We had the main story, and man, was that good. That last Archon quest, the Furina story quest, they were really good. Now we move on to a event story quest line involving Furina here and some lady and this penguin, which is pretty much Fremene's companion. Generally, you see it with Fremene, isn't it? That's why it looks like we get a free Fremene crown, Primo gems. And yeah, pretty much it. So we'll probably be doing that. That was my kind of cap, I guess. About to be capped. Oh, can I do my expeditions now? 1 second. Okay, I'll do my expeditions now. What? My iron chunks? Are you serious right now? My iron chunks are full? Here, I'll use my parametric transformer. That'll fix it. 1 second. I didn't expect my iron chunks to be full. I need to use my parametric transformer weekly too, apparently, to keep up. My god, I do have... Here, we'll do this. Perfect. Time to go. Bow your head. A bitter pill to swallow. Did that cut him down at least a little bit enough? Hopefully enough for today. I'll be using more tonight when, well, maybe tomorrow, but etc. for Crystal Fly Trap, which 1 day and 4 hours. So it won't be right away. Add Astra, add the sauce, yes. That should be enough because I think we only get 3 or 4 per run. Probably should just. Yeah, that should be enough to take it down a notch for a bit. But yes. I kinda have built Fremene a bit before. Still not like entirely sure about him, but he's cool. Cool. I give him with the Serpent Spine. I give him, he's at 655. I just need probably a lot better art. They're okay. Yeah, they're okay. Yeah, they're fine. But we'll get a constellation, which not a bad deal. There's also a new banner, but I don't need to go for it because I already have a Sino. I already have an Ayato. So good luck to those that are actually gonna wish for any of those two. I guess we should just get started on Thelxie's fantastic adventure. I kind of waited so that everything would be completed, so Alright, Fontaine's Fishing Association. It looks like it'd be easier to come up from the water. This would be closer. See how far we can get today. I'm hoping that we can complete it. I think it's just 3 acts. I think. I've heard some people say this is a really good event. I waited until it was complete so I didn't have to, like, you know, hold off on the entire story. Alright. Yellow Roche. Oh yeah, you're part of the fishing associate. I didn't actually expect a fishing associate to be part of this event.
That can't be right. Oh, but what if they're real after all? No, that can't be. But what if there's a chance?
What? What's real?
Greetings, miss. Is there something that's bothering you?
Oh,
Yeah, you,
no,
Paimon.
It's nothing. I'm Della Roche, the representative of the Fontaine Fishing Association. How can I help you?
We received your commission request.
Oh, so you're adventurers. Oh, finally. Someone has heard my prayers.
Paimon could tell you were really bothered by something. Don't worry, you've got 2 super experienced adventurers right here.
One super experienced adventurer.
As long as you pay us a little bit of Mora.
Paimon, you don't do anything.
Oh, you are exactly the helpers I need. See, the problem is that the fish around a fishing spot at Arrhenius have just all up and vanished recently. They disappeared too quickly for it to have been the work of human anglers. As the representative of the Fishing Association, I had planned to go and investigate the area right away.
But
Right, but unfortunately, as the representative of the Fishing Association, there are a few other errands that I absolutely have to run. So
you hired somebody else to do it.
Us to investigate the spot for you?
exactly, you're right on the Mora. So I thought I could delegate this work to you. Are you two some kind of prophets, knowing exactly what I was going to say like that? Or maybe like the oracles you read about in fairy tales?
No, we're just used to it. We're just kind of used to this trend of speech, you know? Usually, when somebody calls for us because they want us to do the dirty work for them. Nope, we already told you we're adventurers, yes.
Yeah, we're just really experienced in this kind of thing, that's all.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. I'll get a good night's sleep knowing the two of you are on the case.
But don't we just need to investigate the missing fish? It really doesn't sound too difficult.
I want everything that's always
No,
difficult.
You mustn't let your guard down. As the representative of the Fishing Association, I have good reason to believe that the fish have gone missing due to an encounter with the water imps.
Water imps? Oh, I didn't even read that, by the way. I was just like, what? What are water imps?
Yes,
I didn't
you're
even
both
read that was
outlanders,
the
right?
next line.
Our local fairy tales often speak of a terrifying underwater creature called Thelxie. The story our parents would tell us was always the same. If we went to the water alone, then we'd be snatched away and eaten by a water imp called Thelxie.
A child-eating water imp? Did they tell you what it looked like?
My father would always describe it as a beautiful, multicolored snake woman, while my mother said it had a handsome face. It's really strange, though, because you'd also hear other people describe it as just a chubby penguin with a deceptive appearance.
So it's hydrogenous?
Even though the tales vary regarding its appearance, everyone agrees.
Or is it like
it's
Jack the
really
Ripper?
dangerous.
Where nobody
It lives
knows
in
what they
an
actually
underwater
look like and they
cave
just kind of
surrounded
make
by
guesses.
pallid bones and uses its sensitive nose to track down lonely children who've lost their way. And once it finds a child, it uses its alluring singing voice to lure them into the water before swallowing them all. Pretty terrifying, isn't it?
Sounds kinda scary. But isn't that pretty normal for a fairy tale? After all, those kinds of stories are usually made up to help keep children away from danger.
But what if the fairy tale was inspired by a real-life tale? Just like how a water vein always has a source.
Do you have any concrete evidence? Wow, we're questioning people. You know, that isn't Fontaine's spirit, isn't it?
Well, I wouldn't call it evidence per se, but I've heard some rumors lately. They say that someone recently saw a child walk into the water as if he was possessed by something. Doesn't that sound just like he was responding to the call of a water imp?
So you mean someone really got eaten by a water imp?
It's all hearsay, so it's hard to confirm. But still, they all say this happened on Irenaeus. That's no laughing matter if you ask me. Both the Opera House and the Fountain of Lucine were built there, and the sources of many water veins can be traced to the island as well. Combine that with the mysterious mist, the huge tree with expansive underground roots, and the rumor that the fish-eps on the island can understand human language. Is it really so shocking that an island so shrouded in mystery could harbor a terrifying water imp as well?
Why does Paimon feel like you're pulling our leg? You're just piling on the rumors now. Still, if someone's really been hurt, then we can't just ignore the situation, right, Traveler?
Well, I mean, it doesn't really hurt. I guess we can check it out.
Marvelous. Then I'll just mark the stretch of water on your map. Don't forget that no matter what, safety always comes first.
Safety first. Just like we rehearsed. Investigate the waters where fish have disappeared from. Oh, you went right back to fishing. Are you gonna catch that fish there? Look, it's right there staring at you. Where is it at? Oh! In the area that I didn't really unlock. I can go from here, though. I haven't really explored that area yet. Do I do something about this capped resin? I can deal with it later. I'd rather do the quest. I'm not worried about it. I'm not too worried about it. Okay. I do like the underwater in here still.
Is this the stretch of water Delaroche was talking about?
Probably.
It looks really peaceful. Huh? Look, there's some footprints over there.
The footprints extend all the way into the water.
These look pretty fresh. Did the water imp get someone again? Let's look around and see if we can find anything else. Wait, did you hear something just now?
I heard nothing. I heard absolutely nothing, Paimon. I think you're crazy. Oh, gurgling noises? Okay. Now I hear something. The noises grow louder and louder. So something emerges with a loud splash. What is it? Oh, it's Fremine.
What is that? Don't come any closer!
Are you serious,
Paimon?
Paimon?
Traveler?
Hi, Fremine. Fremine question mark?
I'm sorry. I forgot I was still wearing this.
Well, you were diving.
Fremine!
Are you really that shocked?
Paimon, are you okay?
Paimon nearly mistook you for a water imp. Thank goodness it was just you wearing your helmet.
Oh my
Huh?
god.
A water imp?
We're investigating a water imp called Thelxie.
Thelxie, you say? How surprising.
Huh? You know that name too? Or do you know someone else who's trying to investigate the water imp?
No, I think our situations are probably unrelated.
Then could you tell us what's going on with you?
Sure, if that's in order. I know the name because of one of my employers. She noticed the clockwork penguins I brought to the workshop and contacted me through the shop's owner. She has commissioned me to make a special toy.
Oh,
Following her request, I've named the toy Thelxie.
okay.
Huh? But isn't it a little creepy to name a toy after a water imp? Wait, hold on! Furina, you never take commissions from other people!
Yeah, but, she made a special request. But out of respect for her privacy, I can't really talk about it. It's alright though. She'll be coming over to check on my progress shortly, and I'll just tell her that you're two of my trustworthy companions. Hearing that,
Okay.
she might be willing to share some information, and you'll be able to continue with your investigation.
Huh. Even though you seem a little cold and reserved sometimes, you're still really considerate. Our target isn't necessarily the water imp, though. We're primarily here to investigate the disappearance of the fish.
The fish?
Remine nods slightly and seems lost in thought after you tell him about the commission from the Fishing Association. Suddenly, the breath catches in his throat.
Ah, I think I may have connected the dots. These past few weeks, I've been taking Thelxie for underwater testing every day. The pressure testing makes a lot of noise.
Ah.
So, all that about the disappearing fish? Well, it was probably because of me.
So that's all it was? That actually makes a lot of sense. Wait, so could that mean the child we heard about who walked into the water was also...
Well, I guess that means story over, right? That's the event. Well, thank you. Just kidding. We solved it. We solved the mystery. Just from an preparing for another day of work.
Yes, I think that's quite likely as well.
So in the end, it was just Furina! Paimon spent all this time imagining what a water imp from the fairy tales might look like, and it all turns out to be just a hoax.
One moment. Wait, the story is short? That means it won't bore me to quick? We wish it was that easy, right? It's supposed to have 3 acts to it, so... Even though we solved the problem, there's probably another problem.
I'm sorry. It sounds like I've created a lot of trouble for everyone else as well. I'll try to finish this commission as soon as possible. Once I'm done, the fish should come back.
Don't worry about it, it's just a misunderstanding. Yeah, we'd be happy to help. Is there anything we can do?
Thanks for offering. But I can't trouble you any more than I already have.
Hey, it's no trouble at all! Didn't you just call us your trustworthy companions? Companions are all about helping each other, you know?
But don't you need to report back to your commissioner?
Nope, that's not how it works. See, Paimon's got these commissioner types all figured out, even though we were just tasked with finding out why the fish had gone missing. If we tell them now that it was all just a misunderstanding, you can bet they'd just immediately hand us another commission to help them get the fish back.
You know... You are correct, Paimon. That's exactly what would happen. Yeah, we're just really experiencing this kind of thing, that's all.
Exactly! So if we can help you finish up your work and get the fish back, that would save us an extra trip!
Yeah, they would just give us another commission.
Is that what you'd like to do as well?
Yeah, I think Paimon's right.
Huh.
Unfortunately, right.
All right, I'll trust your judgment. Please follow me. I've made a makeshift camp over there.
That is totally makeshift.
I've stored Thelxie in the tent. He can respond to some simple verbal commands. You can try calling his name and see if he'll come over.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, sounds pretty advanced. Let Paimon give it a try. Hey, Thelxie, are you there?
There's Thelxie. The penguin. Is that Morse code?
So that's Fermine's version of Thelxie. It's also penguin-shaped, just like Pear.
Yep. Had Thelxie lived in Penguin Town, he'd probably have become great friends with Pear.
Yeah, where's Penguin Town?
It's not really anywhere famous or important. Don't worry about it.
Hey, Thelxie.
But I want to know where Penguin Town
Do
is.
you know how to say hello?
So can Thelxie talk?
I wanted to install a language output module, but due to time constraints, I had to give up on the idea.
This boy
As
needs
it
to come.
stands, Thelxie can only output messages
This boy needs
that
some
were
coffee?
pre-written
Yeah.
into its motherboard. I haven't given him the ability to convert
That's
those
fair.
messages into discernible words, so he can't really talk to us just yet.
No need to get so technical. So basically, you want us to help you complete and install this language module, right?
Oh boy.
No, there's no need. That wasn't one of my employer's requests. It was just something I wanted to try. I have 2 other things I'd like your help with. The first is to do some integration testing on Thelxie's motherboard, to make sure he will be able to function properly in most situations.
Speaking of motherboard, I'm just kidding.
That doesn't sound too hard. And what's the other thing?
The other shouldn't take too long either. You'll need to find Thelxie some colorful shells and coral, so I can craft a weapon for him.
A weapon? Will Thelxie have to fight?
A penguin with a weapon? That sounds funny.
Thelxie will need to be able to charge forward with a weapon in hand, like that brave prince of legend. It's a part of my employer's request.
What an imaginative employer! Naming Thelxie after a water imp, but wanting him to look like a prince?
Well, regardless of his role or species, Thelxie's purpose is the same. Just like Pear, he has come to this world to serve as somebody's companion.
Okay.
Whoa, Thelxie just said something again! Could he understand what we were just talking about?
He can react to certain key words, but unfortunately, due to the lack of a translation module, he still can't quite communicate with us.
Well, we might as well put one in now.
Pity. But anyway, the most important thing right now is for us to get to work. Maybe let's start by doing some testing on the motherboard. That sounds like something we can do here in the camp.
Sounds good. The motherboard is on my workbench, so please follow me.
There's a motherboard on the workbench. The irony.
Ah, here we go. I have this testing manual, so feel free to reference it if you get stuck.
Okay.
Want to give it a try? It's okay if you don't succeed immediately. I've got a lot of backup boards just in case.
I'll give it a try.
Okay.
I mean,
Knowing you, I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out.
maybe the RNR needed voice modules? They probably did.
Please give the testing a
Okay. We'll test the motherboard. Debug the motherboard. Connect the circuits. Okay. Ah. Hmm. Hmm. So you only have 5. Oh, you can move those, though. I didn't realize you can move those. Debugging successful. Only it was that easy, right? I could just play a mini game to freaking debug something.
You're doing well. Just as I expected.
We've taken on a lot of similar tasks before, you know.
This is in no way near the
Let's
mental
move on to the
gymnastics it
underwater
takes to
part.
build the
It's
PC.
just as I mentioned earlier. We're after colorful shells and coral.
I know, I have to enjoy that mental gymnastics soon, too. I have all the components, I just have to build it.
Oh, speaking of which, you're both already pretty used to Fontaine's underwater environment, right?
More or less.
Okay, that's good. Just let me know if you ever feel uncomfortable. I'll make sure to stay right by your side.
Alright, go to the body of water Fremine mentioned. Okay, it looks like it's easier if I go from here. The underwater
Should be
adventure.
right over there. We'll be able to find something that'll help us with. This is it. We call this thing an echoing conch. It can detect special reflection waves in the water to help us with all kinds of underwater exploration and excavation efforts. Here, try it.
Okay.
Did you notice any interesting places? The
Yeah, I see one
echoing
right there.
conch should have detected some just now. Let's go check them out.
Inscribed shell. Full fathom 5 Thelxie lies of his bones are coral made. Okay. Ah, okay. I see what they did.
Alright, these should be enough. Let's head back to camp. Thank you for staying out here with me all this time.
Yeah, let me grab this real quick. I'm already over here, so. Now, I probably should have grabbed at least, like, this teleport point or something. Do I want to do that real quick? Grab this teleport? Yeah, I guess it really doesn't matter too. Doesn't matter too much, considering diving is pretty fast. There's a lady over here. Hello. Zodia Destry. Are you okay, ma'am?
Fremine, you're back. I thought you might have been out diving.
I'm sorry, Madame Destray. I must have kept
Destray.
you waiting. I can report, though, that the construction of Thelxie is going quite smoothly.
There's no rush. I'm your employer, not your supervisor. And these two are...
Oh, they're two of my trustworthy companions. They're here to help me work on Thelxie.
Yes, I see. I suppose it's only natural for someone responsible like you to have some reliable friends.
It's really nice to meet you, Madame Destray. Are you Fremine's employer? Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler.
Paimon, why do you talk in the third person?
Greetings, my new friends. Just call me Zuria. You are both so adorable. The sight of you reminds me of little fairies under a cottage roof.
Oh, do you really think so?
Do I look like a fairy too? Well, with that ribbon in the back, it does kind of look like it, doesn't it? Kind of like fairy wings.
Of course. If my child had friends like you, then perhaps he wouldn't have become so obsessed with the tales of water imps. And I wouldn't have had to trouble Fremine here with this commission.
Obsessed with the tales of water imps?
Ah, so you don't know anything about my request yet? I would have thought Fremine had explained it to you already.
Well, Fremine told us that it was a private matter, so he didn't want to just share it willy-nilly.
I see. So Monsieur Fremine is even more discreet than I had thought. As you are assisting him with the project, I believe it'll be beneficial for you to learn more about its vision and history. But it would be quite impolite of me to simply pile all of my troubles on you without your permission. So, would you like to listen to my story?
Well,
Sure, you can tell us anything.
I guess we'll learn
You've
it.
already said nice things about us, so we'll try our best to help you get through your troubles.
Ah, what a lovely little fairy. Then let me think of a way to put my situation into words. I'm sure you're already familiar with the tale of the water imps, right?
Yeah, at this point, yes.
Simply put, parents came up with a story, painting water imps as scary abductors in an effort to convince their children to stay away from the water.
That's pretty commonplace.
My child is rather special, however. While most other children are terrified of Thelxie, he's infatuated with him.
Infatuated? With a water imp? What a brave soul.
Yes, he told me that he thought the water imp might have just been misunderstood. In his mind, instead of singing to abduct children, the water imp actually sang out of a longing for companionship. As a result, he often goes near the water in secret.
Huh. So he wanted to become friends with the water imp so it wouldn't be lonely any longer? What a unique way of thinking.
Thank you, little Paimon. He indeed has always stood out from the crowd. He was actually diagnosed with loneliness syndrome when he was only 8 years old.
Loneliness syndrome? That's a thing?
It's a type of mental disorder. Those affected by it often feel extremely lonely and lose interest in many mundane activities. The syndrome is probably what made him so determined to become friends with the water imp.
Oh no. Is it a very serious disorder?
If you were to become afflicted with the disorder, Paimon, you would only be able to say less than a fraction of the words you're saying to the Traveler now.
No! Paimon won't accept that! We would have to find a doctor to help cure Paimon. Paimon has a 2,000-word quota for daily conversations with the Traveler, and she won't settle for a single word less!
You know, that explains a lot. Now that you mention you have a freaking quota for words to say, oh my gosh, no wonder why you talk so much. Are you sure you don't fill that 2,000 word quota though? Like, you do say a lot of things. I'm pretty sure you fulfill that all the time.
The family doctor has already begun to treat my son, but since the disorder is rare, there aren't many good regimens for treatment. He's also developed some new symptoms lately, such as uncontrollable delusions.
Huh? Uncontrollable what now?
Delusion.
Uncontrollable delusions. To put it simply, he can no longer differentiate between fantasy and reality, and spends all his time in his fantasy world.
Hmm.
Then what is he seeing in his fantasy world?
It's a dream that he often mentioned to me when he was younger. I've compiled what I could understand of his recent rambling. It goes a bit like this.
Once upon a time, there was a splendid and magnificent underwater kingdom of water imps on the Thelxie plain, 500 feet beneath the surface. Countless lovely water imps lived in houses made of rainbow shells and corals, tending to sea animals during the day and singing between the fields of golden Tidalga during the night. Everyone led carefree and blessed lives until the day of the Iridescence Parade, the important festival during which the new king would be crowned. For the festival, all water imps would select the most precious pearl they owned, wrap it in golden branches and leaves, and offer it to their most beloved prince. And during the day of the parade, the prince would cross a rainbow bridge made from all the offered shells and accept the crown from his father amid the applause of the subjects. Finally, the new king would bless everyone with his well wishes. As for the prince's name, it's none other than Thelxie.
Amazing! Your son came up with all of this? He really crafted a lovely fairy tale world for Thelxie. It's like a beautiful dream.
But perhaps no beautiful dream can ever last long. You see, the story ended with a twist.
A twist? The day of the iridescent parade came as expected, but countless monsters also arrived alongside the prince. The monsters were evil and cruel, and they struck fear into all the water imps' hearts. The water imps, adept at singing as they were, could not defend themselves against them. The kingdom fell. The king was killed. The water imps were locked behind bars. The rainbow bridge lost its color and crumbled away. The prince was barely able to escape with the help of a mysterious masked individual, but he had already lost everything. He could only spend his day singing mournful songs. Just as the prince sang out his loneliness, so could his song only be heard by the similarly lonely people. Only children.
How could the story end like this? Is that kind of fantasizing what caused your son to develop his loneliness syndrome?
Well, it'd be more accurate to say that it was the syndrome that caused such terrible delusions to manifest. But in any case, the biggest problem is the patient eventually loses themselves to the fantasy world of their own creation.
Well, what do you mean by that?
My poor child can no longer differentiate between imagination and reality. He's begun to see himself as Thelxie.
Oh.
Perhaps in his mind, the loneliness he felt became the same as that of a prince who lost everything he ever loved or stood for.
What? So that's what you meant by uncontrollable delusions. Then
Hmm.
we have to help him snap out of it.
Alas, most of the time he acts as if he can no longer sense or interact with the real world at all. I've had several discussions with the doctor, and we think it is best to try to guide his fantasy.
Guide his fantasy, huh?
He once wanted to make a picture book of his imaginary world, but since the disorder progressed too quickly, he never quite got past the first page of the book. If we could use this book as a breakthrough for his condition. Here, you can take a look.
Okay.
So Zuri's son also saw Thelxie as a penguin. Oh, he looks so sad.
What we should do now is help him complete this picture book. However, we'll lead the story to a different ending. One where the Water Imp Prince is eventually able to restore his kingdom with the help of his friends. We'll need to chase away his loneliness and sorrow, and let him perceive a world full of hope again. That's what I mean by guiding his fantasy.
Okay.
Just need to finish the picture book. Why does Furina need to make a Thelxie as well?
Because we need to treat the book's story seriously, as if it's a history of things that have really happened. We'll need to go on a journey like Thelxie, and help him regain his crown and country.
Okay.
My child can no longer go on a journey of his own. This is why I commissioned Furina here to craft a Thelxie, And then I'll paint the journey with this Thelxie into the picture book.
Ah, like a stand-in for your son! Paimon's starting to get it now. Oh, you really put a lot of thought into this, Zuria. Paimon still has one question, though. Where will we be able to find a Water Imp Kingdom?
There are some ruins on the seabed of the Thelxie Plains. I've already asked Furina to research them for me. We'll be able to use one of the ruins as the kingdom.
Okay.
Oh, so we'll just need to act out a performance of, a brave journey through the Kingdom of Water Imps. As long as we chase away the monsters in the ruins, it'll count as chasing away the monsters in the Water Imp Kingdom, right?
Sadly, no. We won't just be putting on a performance. It's just as Zuria said. We need to take this seriously. And the only way we can take this seriously is if we choose to believe everything that's happening is real.
So we'll be playing it straight? Or, making it a fully immersive experience?
Welcome to
Neither
VR.
sounds really done right. Well, either way, we'll still be able to help, right?
I'll try my best.
It's all right. There's no need to get that serious. It's not a big deal. I believe in my son. We can just see this as him wanting to stay asleep for a bit longer because he's so enamored with his dream.
Zuria.
Keep your spirits up, everyone. If we were to look troubled, my son is sure to become anxious as well. I should be heading back right about now to check on my son. We temporarily moved to a place on the hill over there, so my son will have a better spot to convalesce. It's not far from the water, and there's also a great view. Feel free to come find me if anything urgent comes up.
Okay.
Understood. There's also one last thing. Since these two friends were able to help me out, I've made some more progress on Thelxie. I estimate that he should be ready sometime tomorrow.
That's great news. I must thank you all. With that in mind, how about we meet here in 2 days' time to head to the Kingdom of Water Imps?
Sounds good. To the Kingdom of Water
All right,
Imps.
everyone. Let's meet again in another 2 days.
Zuria sure is a brave and optimistic lady. Furina, do you think her plan will work out?
Let's discuss that over by the tent. There were a few things that I didn't bring up because the Madame was here.
Oh. Oh, I accidentally hit the development log.
What is it, Furina? What did you want to say?
If you don't mind me asking, I would like the two of you to mentally prepare yourselves.
Mentally prepare ourselves for what?
This is the first time that you've met anyone with the syndrome, right? I know you two are both really strong and will do everything you can to help the child. But with the syndrome being the way it is, if things don't quite turn out as we wish, I hope you'll be able to accept the outcome and not put too much blame on yourselves.
Furina, why do you bring this up all of a sudden? Didn't we just promise Zuria that we'll be optimistic about everything working out?
It's not that I'm not optimistic. It's just...
You know this illness really well.
Ah, so that's why you looked like you knew exactly what she was talking about. Wait, Furina, don't tell Paimon that you also...
No. Please don't misunderstand. I've never had it. I've just seen many cases of it at the House of the Hearth, back when we lived under the previous director. They say there are many factors surrounding the development of this illness. I've heard everything from hereditary factors and one's state of mind, to environmental factors, and even ley line disorder effects. Some even say it could be caused by contamination from god remains. And from the cases I've seen, there weren't many positive outcomes. In the worst cases, the patient could even
Pass away.
What? It can get that serious? And your Paimon thought they just stopped talking as much.
Yeah, that's just the nature of it. So, if you'll find it difficult to cope with the worst case scenario, I would prefer that you back out right now. I don't want you to help only to feel like you failed.
Don't worry, I've seen all kinds of strange and difficult things.
Yeah, that's right. Paimon's seen all of those things too. No matter how hard it might get, we won't be scared.
Really?
We've seen ghosts.
Then in that case, let's see this real-life fantasy adventure together to the end.
This is already a real-life fantasy adventure, without even,
Paimon has a
like,
question.
trying.
If this illness can really be as bad as you've described, then do you really think Zuria's method will be able to help? After all, we'll just be using a toy as Thelxie and some ruins as the Kingdom of Water Imps. The whole adventure will only be turned into a picture book for her son to read.
Well, I think it should be able to do something. To harbor a fantasy means that the child wants to save himself somehow. The only reason he's allowed his dream kingdom to fall is because he's lost control of his heart. But if we can help him regain control and escape from the darkness, we'll be able to change his world. Like helping someone who's lost their voice be able to speak again.
Oh, Paimon sees what you're saying now. Huh. How do you understand all of this so well, Fremine?
Well, maybe because I've also had many of my own dreams in the past. I even had my own fairy tale world, much like that boy's. I was able to draw a lot of support from it, so I believe in the power of fantasy worlds.
So the penguin town you mentioned was...
So you remembered.
Yes.
What Penguin Town? Why doesn't Paimon remember? Is that also a fairy tale world? Don't leave Paimon in the dark!
Really, Paimon? It wasn't even that long ago. Suddenly, Fremine pulls out a diving helmet and puts it on his head.
Hey, why did you put that on?
It's just one of my personal quirks. Please pay it no mind.
Also, your burst
Anyway,
animation.
Penguin Town is a peaceful place with lots of penguin residents. They're all really good at making clockwork toys. And Pear is the town's triumphant hero, as well as the one who quietly protects the whole place.
Pear? But didn't you make Pear yourself?
Well, I often think that Pear only came to me because he realized how much I needed him. So it's not so much that I made Pear.
He doesn't have to wear that
Pear
right now.
chose
How
me
can
as
anyone
his
hear him?
friend.
Fremine, are you sure you're not losing control of your fantasies as well?
No, I don't think so. I can still differentiate between fantasy and reality. I just believe that the fairy tale world of my dreams must also exist somewhere. It might just be hidden, which is why it's difficult to see. Or it will only reveal itself at very specific times.
Specific times? Like when you put on your diving helmet?
Yeah, that's the general idea of it.
Really? Paimon just said that because you put on your helmet.
Have you ever observed the surface world from underwater? It's as if you're viewing a whole different world from the outside. It's a very surreal feeling. Both alienating, but also as if you're being protected by something. I have a similar feeling when I put on my diving helmet. In those moments, it's possible to see some truly wondrous things, as if a fairy tale has become reality. It's almost like a sort of miracle.
Really? Like a miracle?
Now I want to try on your helmet too.
Well, if that's in order.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, don't you still need time to work on Thelxie's weapon? We don't want to keep you from finishing your commission.
Right. I still have to collect some tools I'll need to craft the weapon. I've got to finish everything before tomorrow. Thank you for reminding me, Paimon. I'm sure there'll be other opportunities for you to try my helmet. Thanks for all of your help. I'll be off for now. Let's meet up here again in 2 days.
2 days, you say? Well, that's part 1 complete. Okay. Motherboard troubleshooting. Then we got the record of the search glory. Is that what we're doing now? And then Urgent's Counter-Strike. Yep, that's what we're doing now. Oh, okay, so we gotta complete the collection challenge. Is it right here where we're at? Here, we'll do the circuit stuff real. Circuit stuff. Was that enough to
Water
complete
comes
it?
in many flavors.
Thank you for telling us about water.
The
I'll probably
discernment
save
Mo-
more of it for later.
Stats.
Here, this is what we want. And this is to get him. I'm not really worried about it. Okay. I'll do this later. Okay.
Is crisp and pure. Well, what
We got it. Got it, we know. We know you like water.
from Liyue has an enduring aftertaste.
Okay, we're gonna flip 2 days later.
In
Tomorrow. The day after tomorrow.
Zuma.
Is your child feeling any better?
Thank you for your concern, Fremine. His condition is fairly stable. The family doctor said we might be able to take him out for a stroll today.
Surya, Fremine, we're here!
We've been here, we didn't leave.
Seems like everyone's arrived now.
Not quite. Aren't we missing someone? But Paimon has a guess where he might be. Hey, Thelxie!
It has a weapon and a shield now.
Whoa! Thelxie's got himself a sword and a shield now. He's looking sharp.
Indeed. With his weapons in hand, Thelxie looks more formidable than ever. You've really outdone yourself, Fremine.
We helped too.
Yes, you really had a good eye for materials. Everything you found was high quality. Speaking of which, Zuria just told me that she wants to end the adventure with the coronation ceremony. So, could I also trouble you with finding some materials for the crown? You can just keep an eye out for them on our way to the ruins. I was planning to collect the materials myself, but then I realized you might be able to find some prettier ones than what I could get my hands on.
Consider it done.
Seems like everything's ready to go. Shall we head out?
Please wait a moment. I was just thinking. Since Thelxie has already shown us his brand new appearance, we may already be able to draw a new page in the picture book. What do you think?
Ooh, Paimon's excited now.
Well, what should we draw on this page?
Why don't we use the story we know as a reference? Just make the atmosphere a bit less grim.
So we'll take out the sad parts and replace them with happier stuff? Sounds great to Paimon.
All right, I'll give it a try. I'm not very adept at drawing, but I've seen a lot of art during my work. Now, as far as the actual content of the drawing, please tell me what you'd like to see.
Let me think. We can draw the weapon. The prince has picked up the Sword of Courage and the Shield of Perseverance, which proves he has crossed the mire of doubt, and now is ready to wage war against the darkness.
Okay, I'll add the weapons. Anything else?
Paimon wants to give him some friends. Thelxie's got some friends by his side now, so he's no longer fighting alone.
Okay, I'll also draw some companions.
Oh, we're in
Anything
the
else?
story now. Don't forget to add some color.
Color. Ah, color, yes, that's really important. The road in front of him now will no longer be just grayscale, but bursting with color and hope. Who would have thought the page could have become so inspiring? How wonderful! Splendid ideas, everyone.
Great! Everyone looks super pumped up. Thelxie most of all.
Are you seeing this, my son? Are you feeling inspired by this as well?
I'm sure he is, Zarya. And this is still just the first page.
That's right! Paimon can't wait to see the picture book when it's all finished. We should finish it as soon as possible and keep up the belief and hope in our hearts.
I'm starting to look forward to it as well. So let's get the show on the road and head towards the Kingdom of Water Imps.
Yay! Thelxie's Fantastic Adventures begin now!
Hey, they said the name of the event now. That's the same feeling and energy as when they say the name of the anime in the anime. That crab! How dare you! You crossed my path and then left. Okay. Oh. Let me dive. Let me dive. Okay. Okay. I love the underwater. It's so great, though.
Look! Those are materials that we can use for the crown, right? Let's get some for Fremine.
Is there another material around here? Oh.
These should be enough. I knew you'd have a knack for finding the best materials. We shouldn't need anything else to head to the Kingdom of Water Imps.
Whoa! Is that the entrance to the underwater ruins ahead?
GG. Assaulting the Water Imp Kingdom. The beautiful kingdom of the Water Imps is at hand. Warriors, together with Prince Thelxie, reclaim it from monsters occupying it. We'll get some badges to get towards the free front. Oh. We have to form a team. Okay. Oh, Really doesn't matter what we use. Hey. Could use Furina if we want. I do that. Good. Not very good at using Furina. But we could do that. I wouldn't want to use with it. Suki makes sense. We want to do like a fridge hyperbloom shattered spot. Do that. We can do Nahida. I'll put Cookie last. Want a healer. Oh, Cookie's gonna be the healer. Maybe a Hydro. Yeah, we'll need a Hydro. I will do a Xing Show. And we'll do a Cookie. Yeah. We'll do this. That seems good. Actually, should I have used another cryo? I can't adjust the team now, though. It's fine.
So these are the
Hyperbloom's
underwater
fine.
ruins that Fremine found. They're pretty amazing, but still not exactly the kind that Paimon was imagining.
This is the Kingdom of Water Imps, Paimon, not ruins.
Oh, yeah, Paimon knows. It's just... Paimon thought we'd actually see a fairy tale world. Like with the water imps' colorful houses and the rainbow bridge.
Well, you gotta imagine.
I'm sorry. I was hoping to put up some decorations, but ran out of time to do it by myself.
It's okay. It's fantasy time now.
Whoa, someone's already switched into fantasy mode.
Seems like the travelers already got the gist of things. You should do your best too, Paimon.
Don't underestimate Paimon. Paimon can flip the switch too. Now entering Paimon Fantasy Mode!
We're already in fantasy mode.
Young adventurers, 'tis Paimon,
Genshin is
guardian
fantasy.
goddess of this land. State your goals and intentions for visiting this nation.
We are the companions of Prince Thelxie, your Divine Highness. We have come to help him reclaim the glory that he has lost.
Oh, reclaiming your glory? That
Oh my
goddess
God.
here has golden glory, silver glory, and bronze glory. Which is it that the prince has lost?
Are you seriously making that kind of a joke? I've seen this joke played off. Like, which one of these was you looking for? Is it the gold one, the silver one, or the bronze one? I get that. I think it's I don't remember exactly what the reference is to right now. I just know I remember the joke involving.
Huh?
Did you break character, Paimon?
Not at all! This is the goddess's test! From your responses, the goddess has concluded that you're all brave adventurers without the taint of greed in your hearts. As such, you are worthy of everyone's respect. So please accept the goddess's reward. The goddess will now bestow all 3 types of glory upon you. And as for this prince, the goddess will also bestow upon you the rainbow glory, so your future will always be filled with light.
I don't know if I like this Paimon. I don't like the regular one really that much, but this one's kind of worse.
Gratitude to your Divine Highness for such generous blessings. Power is now surging through every part of my body.
Me too. Is this the divine inspiration of legend?
All thanks to the power of Goddess Paimon. Oh my god.
Now, adventurers, forge bravely ahead and defeat the monsters that have taken over the kingdom. You will be sure to find that which you seek.
Can you please stop talking like that? Use Prince Thelxie's to defeat opponents more easily. After using the skill, Thelxie must charge up before being able to use it again. Okay.
Please be careful, brave adventurers. Just ahead are some evil enemies that have invaded the kingdom of water imps. They're called... Really Heroes of the Deep.
Getting here!
Those accursed enemies are back again. Your Highness, please show them what you're made of.
Getting here! Frost is coming!
Rain cutter. Everyone hold hands.
We're under attack again. It's a Lawitcher of the Deep.
There's no need to fear, my friends. His Highness is so strong now that even a diviniture of the deep would pose no threat to him.
Let me lead you over. This way. Commit it to memory.
Getting here!
It's finally over. So have we defeated the evil monsters and reclaimed the kingdom of water imps?
Yes, it should now be time for us to attend Thelxie's coronation ceremony. The only thing is, I didn't expect this to go so smoothly. I thought it would have taken longer for us to reach the heart of the ruins.
Well, we kind of are strong.
It was my mistake. I should have told Fremine earlier that we would also need a crown.
It's all because the Traveler and Goddess Paimon were too strong. We just eradicated all the monsters in one go.
It's okay, Zuria. We can come back again once I've made the crown.
Then I must thank all of you again for taking the time, and you too, Thelxie, my child.
Thelxie's turning out to be a real expert at fighting.
I don't think there's anything that will be able to stop him. He's like a true prince now.
Yes, I agree as well.
Let's head back to camp for now. I asked the Traveler to search for some materials on the way because I want to make the crown as soon as possible.
We can add an update to Thelxie's fantastic adventures as well. Now that we've reclaimed the kingdom of water imps, it's time for us to draw some new scenes in the picture book.
New scene.
Zuria and Fremine, why don't we draw the new pages first? Paimon really wants to update the picture book.
You just want to see someone draw Goddess Paimon. Ugh.
Hey, you didn't have to say it out loud.
Well, we know it's true.
No problem. I'm happy to oblige. Then in that case, the story today should go something like this. After overcoming many obstacles, Prince Thelxie and his brave companions finally arrived at the entrance to the Kingdom of Water Imps. At this time, the little fairy in the group, Paimon, revealed her true goddess form to her companions.
Woohoo! The goddess has arrived! She praised the companions for their purity, and to reward them, she bestowed upon them many blessings, and even prayed that the prince would be able to fulfill his goal.
Bathed under the goddess's glory, the prince and his companions charged into the bastion of evil, chased away the monsters, and rescued the pretty water imps from their imprisonment. The prince finally managed to reclaim his kingdom. But as for the crown...
Oh no, the crown isn't ready yet!
No. crown was within the prince's reach, but the monsters took it with them as they fled. They haven't given up and are sure to return, but the prince is certain to reclaim the crown the next time they fight.
Hey, that's a good way to do it.
Brilliant rainbow shall descend onto the kingdom once more.
Oh, and Paimon can almost see it all happening now. Whoa, the pages are beautiful. Surya is really talented at drawing.
Thank you, everyone. We've also completed the second page of the picture book now. Thelxie's journey is one step closer to its end and the promised coronation. My child, you'll also be able to brighten up when that time comes, right?
I'm sure he will, Surya. Who knows? Perhaps the doctor will already have some good news for you when you get back home today.
I sure hope so, Your Divine Highness. Oh, Fremine, about the time you'll need for the crown.
Please don't worry. One day should be more than enough.
Ah, then I must thank you for your hard work. All right, let's rendezvous here in another 2 days' time for our final adventure, okay?
Sounds good to me.
And see you in 2 days, my lovely friends.
Another 2 days. Okay then.
Alright, it's about time we start heading off too. You've still got some work to do, right, Fremine?
Yeah, I'll need to go to the city shortly to get some parts for the base of the crown. I want to try out a few different designs and choose the one that looks the best.
Remine's really dedicated.
Yeah. Paimon knew that you didn't often take commissions from others, but Paimon had no idea you'd be so dedicated once you're on the job.
Well, about that, it might be because...
Because what?
It's because I hope...
Oh.
What's the matter? And what's with that look on your face? You're turning red, and it looks like you're about to run away and put your helmet on again.
Am I turning red?
Don't tease Remine.
Alright. We won't bother you anymore for today, Fremine. Let's see each other in 2 days' time.
Okay, thank you. See you in 2 days.
See ya.
I hope that everyone who's found themselves in a dark place would be able to see something beautiful and experience a miracle for themselves.
Okay then. Whirling Vortex's Payon. Well, if we finish the story quicker enough, we can try out like each of these that we haven't done. For now, we'll continue the story though. Was that actually the end of round 2? I didn't expect that to be that quick. It is. Okay, so it's pretty quick. The event's much quicker than I expected. In that case, we might be able to finish the entire event. Probably. We'll do that in that case if comes down to it. How about we actually try out the minigames then? Because it looks like we'll be able to get it done. I kind of expected it to be much longer though. I didn't realize if that wasn't the second one, I probably would have made my mind a bit on that. So let's try out one of each of these then. Just try them out. We did one here. Try this. Go to challenge. We can get there from here. We're gonna navigate. Click here. I kind of thought this would be much longer. Or little like short stories. That's pretty cool. Give me all that. Oh, hi. Okay. That's pretty simple. And we'll try out one of the next one. Ah, there's a score multiplier dealio. All you have to do is obtain 2,000 to get that. Any more with that, you know. Might as well do the big baddie one. Okay. Recovery of HP and gain elemental mastery, huh? And the trial characters are this. Okay, so a Nilo combo. You know, I have wanted to try... You do a Nilo plus Nuvolette combo. I'm not going to use the trial. I'll use my own. Actually, that could be kind of interesting. Let's give it a go. Try Nilo, Nuvolette. We'll use our Nahida. And we'll use a Baiju for the healing. And the shield.
Mind the side effects. Remember, health comes first.
Silence!
Don't be a killjoy!
I'm getting sick of this game. Here,
Care for a dance?
I see everything. Protect you.
Taking a turn for the better.
Dance with me!
Settle down.
The show's up. Care for a dance?
Everyone hold hands.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Dance with me.
Seems like an emergency. Bow your head. Another test subject.
Hey,
Don't be a killjoy!
the Temple of Wisdom. The doctor will see. Everyone hold hands.
What's this?
Silence.
Dance with me.
This way,
Care for
Furina.
a dance?
Another test subject. Remember, health comes first.
Hey,
Settle down.
With me. See it.
a minute to memory.
Mind the side effects.
Killjoy! We've only just... Come at
Another
me!
test subject.
Everyone hold hands.
You can't run!
Seems like an emergency.
Follow my strength.
Silence.
I don't know if that was supposed to do it. I don't remember. I don't know if that was good enough or. We'll find out. Oh yeah, 6,000 was all you needed. Cool. Okay. Let's go back over here. Can I just teleport? I can. Okay, and then we'll have to wait for 2 days. Oh, we can actually talk to it. Nice. Tomorrow. Day after tomorrow.
Today's the final day of Thelxie's fantastic adventures. Let's go find Furina at his camp.
He's right here.
Hey, Furina! Thelxie! We're here!
Hello, Paimon. Hello, traveler.
Okay.
Is the crown ready?
Yes, we're just waiting for Zuria now. She hasn't arrived yet.
Then let's wait for her a little while. Or actually, maybe we can go find her. It's not too far from here anyway. Didn't she say she just lives on the hill over there?
Hey, traveler, Paimon.
Oh, and speaking of,
Found you two at long last. I'm so glad that you both are all right.
Oh.
huh? Why are you here, Miss Delaroche? And what could have happened to us?
What could have happened? That water imp Thelxie, of course. After I gave you that commission the other day, I began to get worried and went asking about the boy that went missing.
Oh, that? We've got it all figured out now. The boy you heard about was just Fremine. Even the missing fish was his fault. Don't worry, we'll help you get the fish back as soon as we're done with this job.
Oh, sorry about that. I've been diving in the area recently.
Huh? Fremine? Diving? No, that's not what happened at all. I've heard a completely different account.
Oh.
What I was told is that about a month ago, a child tied a bunch of heavy seashells onto his body and walked into this open stretch of water. He never came back. What could that be if not that water imp's work?
Oh. That could be other things than a water imp.
Are you sure?
100% sure. I've confirmed the account with several veteran fishermen I know. The child was only 8 years old. His name was Lescaut. Lescaut d'Estray.
Wait, let's go to Stray?
Yeah, that's the name. They say the family took on the name after moving to the city from a place called Stray. Anyway, his mother is a pretty famous art dealer, while his father passed away from an accident many years ago.
Okay. So, are you potentially saying that it's not the kid that's having the delusions, it's the mother? And that maybe the kid actually doesn't exist? And trying to use this thing as a replacement? That's kind of where it feels like it's headed to me. Which, honestly, that kind of makes a bit more sense now.
Well, naturally, his mother was devastated by the incident and fell terribly ill.
It was in the
said that
next
she
line.
left the court of Fontaine, and no one knows where she's gone.
This is what the case is.
It
Okay.
can't be, right? Lescaut d'Estray? Zuria d'Estray? It must be some sort of a coincidence?
Seems like we need to pay a visit to the Destray house.
I'm sorry, miss. We've got to go check on something right now.
Oh, I see. Well, you go on ahead. I just came to make sure that you're both all right. I'll head back then. Please remember to take care.
Yeah, that's kind of a twist. That the mom's kind of the one with the problem, seems. And she's having delusions of sorts.
Excuse us. Is anyone here? Is this Madame d'Estray's place?
Who are you? I have a patient here who needs quiet bed rest. Please leave us be unless you have anything urgent to report.
Who is the patient? Door opens after a brief moment. A man walks out with a confused look.
This is the residence of Zuria d'Estray, and I am Jala Khan, her family doctor. What did you mean by your question just now? Who else could be my patient?
Your patient should be Zuria's son, right? She told us herself that her son had contracted loneliness syndrome.
It's the exact opposite, Paimon.
No, you're right. Young Master Lescaut did have that illness once upon a time, but he's... Well, the young master's no longer with us.
Yeah, that's exactly
Now,
what I
Madame
thought it
has
is.
come down with the same illness. Are you her friends by any chance?
He informed the doctor of all that's happened in the last few days.
Oh. So, when she had requested time to go out over the past few days, it was so she could spend them with you.
So, if I'm understanding this right, the one who's suffering from uncontrollable delusions is the Madame herself? She believes her son is still alive?
That is correct. When the young master disappeared, she was organizing an art exhibit that she
Damn,
had
this is really
specifically
dark.
prepared for him. But since she had to leave the house, she was unable to see her son one last time. That might have been the trigger for her regret. Or perhaps the family's fall into loneliness and grief was inevitable as soon as the old master passed away.
That makes a lot more sense.
First the son, and then the mother.
But how could that be? She really looked like she had a handle on everything. Her smile was so lovely, and she even told us to stay optimistic. But you're saying
It was all an act?
Those actions are proof that she can no longer differentiate between fantasy and reality.
then all the other things that she told us about her son, were those fake too?
No, those were all real. Although they were all things that happened before the young master left us for good. Madame's time has just never moved forward since his passing.
I see. So after her son left, she created a fantasy world where her son was still with her. She was looking for a way to cure his illness when she ran into us.
So how is Zuria now?
She has been in a good mood the past few days, even humming a song when she returned from her stroll. She even began discussing with me the idea of using deliberate guidance to ease the illness. It was all going well, until last night. She
Okay.
spent a whole night staring at the shell the young master left behind, and the words that he had inscribed onto it. Then she broke down once more. I prescribed some sedatives, and she's currently resting.
But then what should we do? How can we help her? There has to be something we can do.
Don't panic, Paimon. Even though this is a devastating piece of news, we must all calm down first. What should we do? I need to think. I need to remember the old house of the hearth and the children who lived in it. Those patients, and what their doctors said back then. What if... Dr. Jalakon, have you seen a picture book? The Madame should have brought it back with her.
Are you thinking about trying the guidance therapy she talked to me about before? It's worth a shot. I'll go get the book.
Yes, this is it.
We still need to finish the adventure in the picture book.
That's right. If what Dr. Jalakon said was true, the past few days have been very helpful to Zuria, so we should complete this journey. We need to show her that her child has found a happy ending in the world of her dreams.
But wouldn't that just make it harder for her to accept reality?
One must first face reality before accepting it. The Madame has been crushed by her feelings of grief and can no longer bring herself to face reality. Our first priority would be to get her out of this state.
Right. Before today, I had thought she wanted to use Thelxie's fantastic adventures to save her son. But now, I think she might need it to save herself.
Absolutely.
And if we could complete it, we should be able to give her some feeling of inspiration and closure. Maybe those feelings would be enough to give her some courage to face reality again.
I'll have to give it a try.
There's no time to waste. Let's set off right away.
Can't jump in it. I see the shrine over here. I can mark it on the map real quick. I'll put that icon. Okay. Okay. Let's use a different team. We'll use our new Valetka. I'll use the team I currently.
We're here again. This is the final part of Thelxie's journey, but the most important person is missing.
Everyone, please don't be so down and gloomy. Remember what she told us? If we were to feel troubled, the patient would become anxious as well.
You're right. Paimon needs to smile. If we have to give something to Zuria, it should be our smiles. We have to keep smiling as we finish this adventure. And then she'll be able to recover, right everyone?
Yeah, I'm sure she will.
Yeah, I'm sure she will.
Oh.
Be careful, brave adventurers. Here come the evil monsters that stole the crown. There! Let's beat these Cyclops. Let's beat them up.
Watch out, everyone! They're coming at us again!
There's no weakness here. Prince Thelxie looks stronger than ever today. He must be going all out. Oh, this is the Cyclops, right? Ahem. We'll replace the crown for you now, Your Highness.
Wind and cloud.
Into the wind!
The doctor will see you.
Seems like an emergency.
Settle down.
I'm sorry. I have to go. I made a promise to my friends, and I'm already very late.
But, Madame, you're still...
Don't try to stop me. Today's the most important day for treating Thelxie. We'll use the guidance method. Didn't you also say that you'd think it'd work?
I'm not trying to stop you, Madame. It's just... Could you tell me the name of your child?
Dr. Jalacan, how can you forget the name of your own patient? His name is Thelxie. He's the prince of the kingdom of water imps. We will go today to reclaim his crown and attend his coronation ceremony.
Oh, no.
I see. Madame, please rest assured, everything is still on schedule. Your friends have already departed to find... Wait, look. They've already returned.
Zuria! Zuria! We've retrieved the crown!
Paimon, everyone, have you really?
Yes, but the coronation ceremony still hasn't taken place, because we felt like you should be the one to preside over it.
Wonderful, how wonderful! Thelxie, my child, are you hearing this? Everything you lost will now come back to you, and soon, very soon, you will never be lonely again.
Oh.
And the last page of the picture book. It's still waiting for you to illustrate in color.
Right, the picture book. But I don't know what I should put on the last page.
Don't worry, Thelxie and his friends all know what should go on it. Get ready, Zuria. We'll describe everything for you.
Okay.
At last, Thelxie and his friends were able to drive off the final invading monsters and achieve a dashing victory. Their success was complete, and the recovered crown resplendent.
The water imps, finally returning to their homes, showered the prince with love and applause as he greeted them. They once again offered their precious shells to the prince and reconstructed the rainbow bridge of old. As he watched the scene unfold, the prince could not help but be touched by its beauty.
Moved by everyone's happiness, the prince stepped onto the rainbow bridge and took a good look at all the friends who had gone on the journey with him. There stood the traveler, Goddess Paimon, Fremine, and... Where's the last person? The prince looked frantically around, but could not find the person he wanted to see most. At that moment, the person suddenly appeared on the other side of the bridge. She walked towards him with a smile and slowly lifted her veil.
The prince could not hold back his tears. He recognized then that the mysterious person that had been by his side the whole time was none other than his mother. Surya walked across the bridge and placed the crown above the prince's head. She smiled down upon him as she said, "My prince, my king, you shall never, ever need to feel lonely again."
That's the end of the story, Zarya.
Huh.
Thank you. Thank you all.
How are we gonna get her out of the funk,
I
though?
am so sorry, my child. Maman should have spent more time with you. Did you hear the story? You'll never have to feel lonely again. Maman loves you too.
Oh,
What's happening? Is Zarya talking to Thelxie?
well, it's again delusions. Remember?
Quick, put on my diving helmet. There's a transcription module in it that's compatible with Thelxie's output signals. You should be able to use it to understand what Thelxie's saying.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's what Thelxie is at.
Maman loves you too.
But I love you more, Mamo.
Wait, what is this?
What? Did you see something?
Maman, I'm getting a little sleepy. If it's time for bed, can you hum a lullaby to me again? Of course, my dearest child. As long as you want to hear it, Mama will always hum for you.
Hmm.
Thank you, Maman. Your lullaby has always been my favorite. Now that I've heard it, I can return to my dream and to the kingdom of water imps in peace. My poor darling. Please don't forget. I will always love you. My love is greater than the entire distance between here and the kingdom of water imps. I won't forget, Maman. And so is my love for you. Greater than the entire distance between here and the kingdom of water imps.
I'm confused.
Night, Maman.
This actually happened? Or did we just see her fantasy like come to life, essentially? Three days later, at Fremene's camp.
Traveler, Paimon, you're here.
Fremene! Why did you call us in such a hurry? Did you hear something from Zarya? Oh, if it's not good news, Paimon doesn't want to hear it.
Don't worry, it's definitely great news. The Madame came here for a visit just now with her doctor. Color has returned to her cheeks, and she sounded full of energy as well. She said she'd like to return to the court to continue hosting the art exhibit. But this time, she'll work with her doctor to exhibit some picture books related to the illness. Of course, Thelxie's fantastic adventures and the guidance therapy will be included in the exhibit as well. She'd like to use her experience to help others.
That's wonderful! So it wasn't bad news after all.
Mm-hmm. Here, please take this picture book with you. The Madame wanted you to have it.
Oh.
If at some point in the future you were to run into someone with similar troubles, she hopes the book would be of use to you.
But this is her son's story, right? Is it really okay to give the book to us?
Don't worry, it's just a copy. She still has the original. It's extremely important to her.
Alright, then there's no problem. It feels good knowing we've contributed to something important. Paimon definitely didn't expect the fantasy adventure to be so useful. Paimon was a little worried about how everything would turn out. After all, fantasy is just fantasy.
Paimon, do you know what the Madame said? She said that at the moment when she placed the crown on Thelxie's head, she felt like she really saw something beautiful. Her child had returned, and he told her that he loved her. She also said that was when she was finally able to bid farewell to her son. She felt like at that moment, she was healed by some mystical power, and she was filled with courage from head to toe.
Oh, really? But could that just be another part of her fantasy?
Perhaps. But if fantasy is just fantasy, and the fantasy world is not real, then how could it still grant us these powers that we can continue to use in the real world?
Perhaps fantasy is not just fantasy after all.
But what else could it be?
A descent of the fairy tale world into the real world. At that time, the wondrous fairy tale temporarily became reality and influenced real things in our world. That has to be what happened. You saw it too, didn't you?
What? That can't be what happened, right? There's just no way. Wouldn't it be like a miracle if that really happened?
Yes, I suppose that would be a miracle. I
Yeah.
hope that everyone who's found themselves in a dark place would be able to see something beautiful and experience a miracle for themselves.
Well, that was much quicker than I expected. Well, maybe it will be a bit of a shorter stream today. I think I'll just run through my resin and maybe we'll call it here. Make it a couple hour stream. Yeah, let me do this. Oh. This could be set up two different circuits. What was that again? But it's not as easy, right? Because we can't go through. Huh. Debugging successful. Yeah, I thought about completing the event, but at the same time I can use it to cover for dailies. Overtime. I think we'll do that. Yeah, I was surprised how quick that went. It was just kind of a little short thing. So let me check real quick my artifact. We're gonna use some of our resin. So what I've been doing is gonna level a few characters. one, I'm leveling Noelle because I kind of wanted to try. I never fully built her before. Built her a bit. I wanted to try her out with Furina. Because I saw that team before and it seemed interesting. For this, I know I have to adjust a little bit, so I throw on just 2 characters. Uvalent still does a lot of damage. The 2 characters. I have to have a Claymore, so Beto,
I trust you.
plus Zhongli. That way I can break
A
the,
walk would be nice.
Zhongli's, no, it's not ready. Yeah, I'm gonna go beat up some guys over here to get it back. I kinda need the burst. Well, it should come back, actually. It should be back by the time I need it. In theory. Here, let's get a little bit more.
Solidify! Silence!
There we go. Now it's back. Okay, so we need to get over there. We'll get over there easily. We want to wait a few minutes for them to go away. I don't need you attacking for no reason. Thank you.
Stabilize! Bow your head. Solidify!
Settle down!
I will have order. Stabilize.
That's simple. Can rearrange. I'll have to come back here anyway for when it respawns, because I'm just doing these 2 back to back. This plus the... Am I done with the one new, actually? I'll check in a sec. Back to
Sounds good
this.
to me.
I'll treat your wounds.
Let me see. We done with the one newt? That one was for Mika, because I wanted to try out Mika too. It would be... I know we need to collect more of these. It's 2032. I need to take it on one more time. One more. We'll do that. Then I guess after that we can figure out who to level. For the other boss. So actually, I think I might just run through some ley lines for the last few. I think it's a good idea.
Time to shine!
A bitter pill to swallow.
Silence!
Wind strike! The doctor will see! Yoo-hoo!
Settle down!
A bitter pill to swallow.
Oh. Murdered. Okay.
Mind the side effects.
Alright, we'll do some ley lines for the last.
Wind Strider.
Silence!
I'm not gonna use my condensed, but I'll use my original. Let's do this 4 times. Pretty simple. Let me do this.
A bitter pill to swallow. Mind the side effects.
One with nature.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Settle down!
Mind the side effect.
All right.
Taking a turn for the better.
I forgot about this.
Wind Strider.
The doctor was seeing.
Seems like an emergency.
Into the wind.
A bitter pill to swallow.
The doctor was seeing.
That's one way to do it. Brute force it with another character.
Add Astra. Thank you for
completing your commission. Okay. I think we'll end it a little early today, because yeah, I kind of expected that to go at least maybe 3 hours, but it only went 2. But that's fine. 2 hours is good for today, and we can come back on Friday's stream with some Scarlet Nexus, continue that upward. I did just want to get through this event, and it was pretty cool. A little darker than expected, and that's cool. That's fine. Gotta love some of these little extraneous stories. So yeah, I think we'll wrap it up here. Thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next stream. Bye-bye.